How's it going, Warlords? Dark Britain of the Runaway Warlords, and we're back with an interesting new little project. A few months ago, some of y'all may have seen our Off the Scene interview with Cosmic Kikyo, who is a TikToker, One Piece TikToker. I know, it's pretty insane, but there's going to be more people like that coming soon. This new project that we're doing is going to be a conversation with new people, old people, content creators, Facebook individuals, Instagram individuals, anyone who has history with One Piece, some kind of goofy story, understanding, smile, cry, happiness about them with a story. And today we have Sierra the Goat, not the duh, because that's how you know she's dope. Sierra the Goat, would you mind saying a little bit about your channel?
Hi, I'm Sierra. I do mainly right now One Piece content. I was doing anime reactions, but I got a little too overwhelmed, and I had to like kind of take a step back because I was like stretching myself a little too thin. But yeah, but One Piece is like my one true love. Like it's my go-to series. It's my favorite series out there. So I always have to be doing One Piece. I do a weekly chapter, like live reaction. Sometimes I'll put out a review or some type of video if I got the time. But yeah,
Nice.
And that's basically my channel.
Now, how long have you been watching or reading One Piece? Are you one of the people who just jumped on it when COVID hit and you were able to just binge it because you had nothing to do, or has it been like a big part of your life?
It's been a big part of my life. I want to say I think I started back in 2012.
Really?
Like one day I was at work, and at that time I was only reading Naruto and Bleach. Like, cause I was like Manga Panda, I think that was like the website, and it would always show One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, like as the new chapters weekly. And I was like, what is One Piece? I'm like, it's always number one. I'm like, let me just like read the first chapter, because like if it's number one, it's gotta be good, you know? So I like read it, and I think I got to that little bit with Buggy and the dog and
Orangetown, yeah.
By Arlong Park, I was just like, this is the greatest series of all time. Like, I've never cried or like just felt the connection with the series like I did with One Piece, and then like it kept just getting better. And
I love hearing that, because everyone, like, you see everyone give reactions, and it's just that point they always make is it's always getting better. It's half the time people are expecting to hit some kind of like drag or like lull period.
It never did. It just kept amazing me. I was just like, how is it like getting every arc is better and better? Like it did not have no downs. Like I think when maybe my first down part was Thriller Bark, but now that I've seen it, I've probably rewatched it like 5 times. That's like one of my favorite arcs now. I appreciate all arcs, even freaking Davy Back. Like that is a funny arc.
I do not appreciate. I still do not. So fun.
Funny, like after a couple times.
I can see that, but for me, after, let's see here, I was anime only until 2018. Full disclosure. Sorry, everyone watching the video. But when I did make that transition to reading the manga, I had a blast reading Skypiea, but when I was younger, it wasn't really for me. But I was in a stage of life where I started One Piece when I was 16, 17, starting to pick up the manga when you're 30. There's a lot of life in between there that really helps like really focus things out, because Skypiea wasn't really a big one for me. As a 30-year-old reading it, you're just like, okay, I really like the dynamics, the aesthetics, how Inaru does look like Eminem, which I didn't really understand back then. Yeah, he did. But it's...
Oh yeah, like I could feel that, because when I started reading, I think I was like 22 at the time, and I was in my early 20s. So I don't know. I liked Skypiea. Like I said, the first arc that I really wasn't like feeling the first go around was Thriller Bark. So I was just like, it's funny, but I did not like Moria. I didn't like the other doctor guy. I forget his name. Hogback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I wasn't feeling him, and now just looking back, and like I've said, I've read the series multiple times by now, but like, I love all the arcs. I appreciate it for what it is, you know, and what Oda does, because he'll tie things in, you know, like you can watch it and then rewatch something, and you're like, I missed that, you know, that connects with this now, like what's happening now in the manga. So it's crazy. I just love it. It's like it's beautiful art. I don't know.
It's a puzzle that just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's, again, I laugh because, especially when watching it, Thriller Bark, before Thriller Bark actually was, in the anime at least, a really bad filler where it's like the Red Chain Pirates. It's just, there was bad filler galore in a lot of the early One Piece. Not as bad as Naruto, which is the reason why I stuck with One Piece. I do wish that I had this community back when I was 17 and in high school and really needed like people to talk about One Piece with. Yeah. But I am glad that I spent so long with it just being my thing. The thing that I coveted, because it made all those years of being anime only worth it. Because I got into a situation where I wasn't week to week. I would wait like a month or two, which I personally think is the best way to watch the anime, is like 3 or 4 episodes at a time. So it's this nice little binge with it. And it's kind of how I even found the community, because Roger was doing anime reviews at the time, and I was just like, oh, someone's actually reviewing One Piece online. And then after that, the floodgates opened, and I found this entire community of amazing miscreants that are up to like crazy shenanigans all the time, which, for better or worse, I do like this community a lot. I really do.
I do too, yeah.
Now, are you a part of any other communities, or have you, because you mentioned that you read Bleach and Naruto.
So, like, I used to, like, back in my old high school days, like, I was a really, like, loner. Like, I would kidnap my friends, because I was the only one that could drive, take them to my house, make them watch my anime videos, and they're just like, what is this? Like, what?
You can do that with people?
I was like, I made this, and they're like, well, what, is it a cartoon? Like, what is it? And I'm just like, I put this anime to music. It's called AMVs.
You made AMVs back in the day? Is that how your channel started?
I still got some, like, up on my channel. If you, like, go search, there's some old Bleach anime videos. That's all I did was Bleach, so I was obsessed with Bleach. And I made a couple One Piece ones when I got into One Piece. But then, like, college happened, and I, like, did not have time. So those took a long time to make. But I loved making anime videos. And then that's kind of, like, what got me into the community, like, the YouTube community, I guess, because I was, like, doing anime videos, and I think I came across either For Neverworld or Sawyer, and they were talking, I think For Neverworld was the first one I saw, and then he was talking Naruto, and then I saw Sawyer, and I would just watch them. And then Sawyer mentioned something about One Piece, you know, and that's when my curiosity was, like, sparked, and at work, I'm like, let me check this out, you know, like, let me just see what it's about, and that's all history from there. Like,
that is really cool. That is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, my anime videos, those are my thing back in the day. Like, I used to love making those. I made so many. I had a whole different channel, but it got terminated for copyright.
So it got destroyed, the copyright monsters. I heard about the whole purging in like 14, 15, 16. It, again, missed all of that craziness. Didn't even know that all this was a thing. And now I'm coming in grateful. I am grateful that I found all this later on in life, because I'm very proud of a lot of my younger friends in the YouTube community who are able to do this without letting it get too into their head. Because in my 30s, I'm like, all right, cool, likes and all this. But when I was in my 20s and just thinking about back on Facebook and all the like rush that I would get, I could never imagine doing YouTube at that point. So, like, kudos to a lot of the younger ones in the community, because it's tough. It really is.
Yeah, I guess that's true, because, like, now that I'm older, I just like where I'm at. Like, if I do better, great. If I don't, I'm okay because like I'm just literally just doing what I can, you know? And with my time, like I have a kid, I have a full-time job. Like this isn't my full-time job. This is like just something I like to do for fun, you know? So if people want to see more, like I'm going to try and give them more, because that to me is like kind of how I was. Like I would just watch people talk about stuff that I love, you know? And it's like you said, it's kind of nice hearing how people get into a series, especially like new people. I always try to get people into One Piece, but it is so hard.
I feel like the forever salesman, and it's
yeah.
I got my sister into it, and she did not. And as soon as Ace died, done. She was done. Ace was her. She loved him so much, and yeah, it was bad. It was really, really bad. I've had multiple instances because I work at a university. So I've had instances where someone is like, "Oh my god, this almost broke me." I'm driving down with a bunch of international students, and I see this young woman from Qatar, and she has a One Piece shirt on. So of course I'm giddy, like, you know, One Piece, like, because you know how it is. Whenever you see someone, especially on the street, that's wearing like a straw hat, you're just or straw hat paraphernalia, you're just like, what is that for? She's like, "Can I talk to you real quick? Do you know One Piece?" Like, "Oh, it's actually my friend's. I just stole it." But no, she had just started, and she looked at me, and it's like me to the wall, and she's like, "Does Ace die?" And it's just like, I can't tell you that. Well, it was very mopey. I kind of. I was the athlete kid just because I was 6'5", and everyone's like, "You're playing sports," but it got to the point I missed out on the One Piece had 3 phases, if we could call it that. The WB morning for kids, the Toonami afternoon for kids, and then the Funimation Adult Swim, which was actually the much better of all 3. Missed out on the WB morning because I played sports, and I couldn't wake up to save my life in the Saturday mornings, so I missed that. But when it hit Toonami and Adult Swim, I would leave I was an introvert, so I didn't want to be at most of the parties anyway. But all of a sudden, I had this mysterious 10:30 curfew, and would just make it home right at the gotta go, and it has been ever since I was 17, which is pretty crazy to stop and just be like, yeah, 2005 I was the same age as Luffy when I started this journey too, which is pretty fun.
So cool. I was like a Robin. Kind of old.
Well, that's the thing. It's never. That's the interesting part about the different phases of the One Piece fan, because I will talk to people who are just down and out. Dressrosa took too long. It's this and it's that. And honestly, and sorry to everyone watching this later on, I have a similar feeling to Alabasta. Alabasta, for me, in that point of life, with the drawn-out exposition and the development, that a lot of the younger shonen fans now are just like, "Oh, Dressrosa, boo." Yeah. Back then, I was just like, I'm not really feeling this. This is taking too long. But then going back and watching it in hindsight, you're just like, okay, this is a lot better. And reading it goes a hell of a lot faster. A whole lot faster. And you're able to pick up on... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, reading versus watching is a whole different experience, because the anime is a little bit slower paced, while reading it, it's just like it's going. You know, it's not as slow.
Roger found Laugh Tale is when we decided we're going to make a channel. And
that's so beautiful.
And we've been running with it ever since.
I love it.
Good old.
That's such a great chapter to just like, let's start our journey.
I'll always remember just sitting, reading, and just watching Roger's face laugh.
Yeah.
And I got up, walked down the hallway, came back, looked at it again, and just stared at it. Because I've been looking at this individual since I was 17, which is now going on over 16 years now, which is crazy. And even with the anime, that's one of the reasons why I loved Odin's hot take. Odin's flashback for me beats out Law's flashback already. And it could be recency bias. It could very well be recency bias. And I'll admit that. But, and this is a very big but, Odin's flashback tied in so much of the overall story to when that reminded me of when I was 17. Odin's flashback made me feel like I was 17 again, if that makes sense.
Give you those like early One Piece feels.
Yeah, just because, for instance, when he was leaving the message for Roger in Skypiea, just remembering back to when I saw that, I was probably I was probably in my 20s around then. So 19 around then. So it's just those times in life where you're just like, huh, this is what it is. And then to see Roger, hear him, talk with him, interact with him. Reading him on the manga it was cool. Reading him in the manga, but seeing him interact, his laugh was perfect. Voice actor did an amazing job for Roger in the anime. He felt like Luffy, and he felt like someone that we had just met, but we've always known. And that's another reason why I absolutely love One Piece, is because of situations with Roger, with Odin. What do you? This is going into the supernova question, but what do you think of like the other of the worst generation? Not the worst generation, but the other supernovas, like Killer and Kid and all of them.
All. I want to see them all like have their special moment, you know, and I really hope we do get to see that, because I think all of the supernova have something to bring to the table. Like they're for a reason, you know, the worst generation, and we kind of got to see Capone, and I feel like with his story wrapping up back with Big Mom and also that cover story, like we're good with Capone. Like we're good. You know, we're good with Capone.
For the love of God.
Like now, I really want to see what's going on with Bonnie. Like her connection with Kuma got me. I was like, whoa, what?
She's a princess.
That was interesting.
I think she's going to be the princess in the next arc.
That would be crazy. I would love it. Like, I want to see Bonnie. I want to see what's up with her, because just her having that connection with Kuma, because Kuma is such like a mysterious character, but also like an interesting mysterious character, because he was there but he wasn't, and you're just like, why was he there?
I'm guessing it sounds like Bonnie is a top player for you. I do feel like her and Arouge, even though every single one of the worst generation were thought of a week before or 2 weeks before Oda put that chapter out, which is mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Yeah. It does feel like, to your point, Beige is a part of Big Mom's Whole Cake arc. I think he's good. Apu and Hawkins, I think, are going to be done after Wano, personally.
Yeah.
I am a Kid stan. I have my shirt where my boy Kid's on this side. When I first saw him, and he stood in the middle, and when his bounty was higher than Luffy, I was like, this dude has my interest. Yeah. And he has the look of what I wanted Luffy to more have. That more, I have been through actual shit. I love when Luffy's like cute and naive, but I want Luffy to have an edge to him, and I don't only want it when one of his Nakama gets hit, which that's the angriest we'll ever see him. I did want Luffy to beat up the bar in what is it, Jaya? Yeah, in the Jaya arc when Bellamy when they were making fun of him. Yeah, because that's the difference. That's why I like Kid, because Kid even mentioned when they were all standing next to each other, how many people did we destroy for making fun of our dreams? So it sounds like he was being a dick to everyone because they were all laughing at him. Not trying to defend him or anything, but just saying. Yeah. So Kid is the pirate that I sometimes wish Luffy could be every once in a while. Yonko. And that's an interesting thing, because I put Big Mom higher than most people. Sorry, everyone. But I love chaotic neutrality, and I do think that she is, in many cases, very neutral in many aspects. These last few chapters specifically, and I wasn't as pissed off as like Roger and some of the other ones from the amnesia thing, because when you're submerged for that long underwater, you are going to suffer from hyperventilation, which means that you cannot breathe and you lose your memory. That actually happens. So the fact that she didn't drown is just because she is a Yonko. The fact that she lost her memory is still a testament to she's human. Like, it's a thing.
Yeah.
And for when people lost it, I get it. I get it more because it was used with Sabo. But
that's I think what really triggered people was that it was already just barely used within Dressrosa, so they were like, amnesia. But yeah, like Big Mom, like when I was in Whole Cake, I did not like that arc that much, but so she annoyed me. But now, like, her character is so, like you said, she's just like this not random, but like a wild card. You don't know what to expect with her
at all.
And I'm kind of liking it now. Like, I'm kind of like respecting that now more. Like, she's not a typical Yonko, like, I am the strongest, but she is, you know, she's like, I'm strongest, and I think my way is the best way to go about things. And it's kind of like that mentality that almost like Luffy has the same mentality sometimes, you know. He's like, if you mess with my friends, I don't like you. And she said that. These people were nice to me, and you killed them. Like, so she was mad.
They gave her food.
Yeah, they gave her food.
Oshiruko, of all things. That literally started all that.
I was like, okay. I'm like, she's growing on me. I'm kind of liking Big Mom. So I think right now she's the most interesting Yonko.
You never want to do the whole favorite Straw Hat, but favorite arc, personally. Not what you think everyone wants you to say. Favorite personal arc, and then I guess top arc. I guess that way you can.
My favorite is Savity.
Really?
It's Savity. That was so. Like how I said earlier, I was like how once he just kept getting better and better. Each arc I got to, I was like, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. You know, like Enies Lobby. I was like, oh my god, like my mind was blown with Enies Lobby. And then Thriller Bark came and I was like, meh. And then we got to Savity, and oh my god, like it was just like from the beginning to the end was just, it was like straight up, boom, crash with the Straw Hats getting separated. And I was just like mind boggled. Like I was like, this is the best I've ever seen.
In the entire time, Luffy hasn't even found out about Ace yet either.
No, like, it's just crazy. Like that's my favorite arc. Like to this day, I can't. There's nothing that I've felt more than I felt in Savity. Like it was just crazy. Even like Marineford, I think that could have been like possibly because I spoiled myself with the Ace, you know. So maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know, but like Savity, it was just insane to me.
Now, do you combine Return and Initial Savity, or are they just one? Oh, okay.
No.
Even more interesting.
Okay. It's like cute, you know. We got the fake Straw Hats, but you know, like that was just more like a yes, the gang's all here, let's go to the new world. Like it was more like that feeling. Like Savity gave me like anxiety. That's like I don't know. Like a good anxiety, I want to say, not bad, but like the Celestial Dragons, I was like these like, oh, like Luffy punching him, I was like, yes, Rayleigh, yes, like the Pirate King's right-hand man. Like it was just insane to me. Like I just loved Savity so much.
Rayleigh's was that introduction, especially because as a teenager, right? No, I was in my 20s when we meet Shaki. I'm like, who's her husband? She's a bad chick. And then she's like, oh, I'm in my 50s. Even then, she's like,
yeah.
Shaki. Damn, who's keeping up with you? And then you find out it's the right hand of the Pirate King. You're like, oh, well, damn, okay. Oh, I guess.
Like, he's been gone for a week. Then it turns out he's just chilling there with some like alcohol, sitting there next to a giant, just relaxing, just
he sold himself to the slave house in order to be bought by a rich person so he could then rob them and free himself. That was his plan.
Gee, like, and then when the words popped up on screen, it's like Silver's Rayleigh, right hand king of the Dark King or something, right hand man of the Pirate King. I was just like,
did you ever know that Hiruluk mentioned hockey when he was talking about pirates? Chopper asked him, "What are pirates?" And he's like, "Pirates have skin as strong as iron. They have eyes as good as an eagle, and they have the voice that can break the heavens."
That's interesting. I haven't watched it forever, but I want to go see that. Maybe I'll watch it one day, or read it at least.
It's one of those things. I heard it in a podcast last year, and it's like one of those things where it's just like, wait, what? And then I'm shifting through, and you're just, no shit. Oda literally dropped that.
That's like another thing how I was saying, like, when you can just watch this series over and over and then find some new information, like, I didn't know that, and I've seen this series like 5 times. Like, I've read it 5 times over, you know, and I didn't know that. That's something new. Like, that's why I love One Piece. There's just little Easter eggs everywhere. But you gotta pick them up, or at least have someone point them out to you.
I have an Easter egg for you. Sanji Easter egg. So, do you remember what a Sanji Easter egg?
Oh, okay.
So, do you remember when Sanji was had his really horrible photo, and it was like Donovan it's right going right into Sabati.
Yeah, what was his name? The ugly guy that he kept his face pretty.
Sanji.
Forgot his name. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So initially there was a flash off, like, how did they even get the photo? And they cut to the Navy office and the person who takes the photos, and it's just a black sheet of paper. And the guy's like, "Did you leave the cap on when taking the photo?" Now Sanji is stealth black.
Oh, I get that. Yeah, I do remember that.
It's just one of those little things that you're reading, and then I'm having a lot of fun watching people catch up and talk about things, and hearing them and their interpretation. I'm going back and is like, huh, yeah, that is that. So it's nice to be able to have a lot of new people come in with their ideas and just be like, this is how I see it, which is pretty cool.
I would have loved it if Oda would have like kept that gag where they could never just get a decent picture of Sanji. I would have loved it. Like, he would have lived up to Stealth Black. Like, they just can't get a picture of this guy.
It would have, but it would have been tough to do that around the whole Vin smoke change. Yeah. Because he got a good photo when it was Only Alive, and they pointed that out too. Hey, you got a new photo. Why does it say Only Alive? It's Oda, you madman. Favorite husbando and favorite waifu in One Piece?
Waifu would be Nami. I love her.
I can respect that, but it's kind of vanilla.
She wasn't like always my favorite though, but the way like Oda's kind of been developing her character, I just like it, and I don't know, I just like Nami now. She's like my favorite girl, so Nami. Husband, did I say Zoro again? Because it's Zoro, but I think Law is more my type, but would he be a good husband?
I was just about to say the normal response is Law.
I think Zoro would be a good husband. He's kind of like got the caring side. Like, he likes Chopper, you know, and Chopper's cute and cuddly. So Zoro has that like soft side.
He does, and that's.
He does.
I think the Grand Line review points out best that with Zoro's personality, you do get the humor and the soft side, but it's not a lot of it. But just that flavor to just be like, all right, he's a good character.
I appreciate it. Yeah, so I think Zoro like my husband.
Wow, like on the waifu side, Nojuko and Reiju. I don't know if it's a sister thing, which I might actually I'm just now realizing. I might have to think about that personally, but
I like Beiju too. I like Reiju a lot. She is awesome. I won't disagree with you there. Girl,
when we found out that Sanji had siblings, and I found out that he had a sister, I spent a lot of time thinking about what she was going to look like. I did. Not gonna lie. It's just like, I wonder if she's
such a good character too. Like she's a good character. She was taught. She was like raised up to be a certain way, but she couldn't go against it really. But she still had like that empathy, like unlike her brothers or whatever. It's like a argument, I think, what is actually going on with the brothers, like with their emotions. But
is there?
I don't know. Like there is like people were saying like, do they have emotions or don't they?
They weren't afraid of death, so I don't think so. They don't have empathy.
Yeah, something like that, and how she had, I don't know, like that flashback really was adorable. It was sad but adorable, you know, like just for Sanji, get out of here and just go, like just run away from here. You're so much better than us.
And again,
makes me cry thinking about it.
Mr. Prince from Alabama. No, Mr. Prince from was a Little Garden.
No,
who is this? Well, he's first when
Prince?
He first said Mr. Prince when
he said it, the crocodile, like in that gambling place. Because crocodile's like, who is this? He's like, Mr. Prince.
But he first said it in Little Garden when he had crashed Mr. Three's house. It was right when he killed the crow and the otter, because that's when he first, and that's how he got the log post.
I remember Little Garden that much.
I spend a lot of time in this. It also helps that I found a lot of book reviewers, people who just review like Harry Potter and things like that, who have started One Piece, and it's very, very fun to see someone who has no idea. They were saying Luffy to begin with, like that's how out of the genre they were.
Luffy.
Yeah, right. So it's very it's an amazing feeling to see someone who isn't even really interested in anime manga, but is interested in it as a form of literature, and they had just passed Little Garden, so that's one of the reasons why. So being able to relive it and go through it, it's fun. It really is. Everyone chooses Law. It's just like, I don't know.
The vibe, that bad boy vibe, I think a lot of the girls like. Some guys too, I'm not gonna lie, but you know,
he is a sweetheart. He is a sweetheart. He is a sweetheart.
He's a good guy, but he also has like got that emo vibe, or I don't even know if it's emo vibe, but he just got some type of weird vibe that's sexy. I don't even know.
The ones I see, I'm happy now because Kid's finally up there. I'm seeing a lot of like girls flocking over Kid, and I'm like, finally. Is this something a dude should be worried about? But Kid, Law, who are the other? Doflamingo, which even I can get. Hey, he got Viola. I'm not gonna hate on my girl. Bringing up Katakuri actually brought up something that's not on the questions, but is a topic that definitely can end on at least, or almost end on. With Whole Cake, the introduction to Katakuri at that probably 80% completion, I think is one of the reasons he skyrocketed into who he was, into how he was introduced, the way he was introduced, and who he was.
Wasn't his first character over 1 billion? He was more than Jack, I think.
Jack was 1 billion. Jack was our first character over with 1 billion.
Okay, and he was over Jack.
Cracker.
Because Jack was hyped because he was 1 billion, and then I think Katakuri, he was like 50 over.
1.5 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And then his introduction, and oh my god, Katakuri, he was just so cool. Shooting jelly beans, killing people, like who does that?
So with Wano, I 100% thought that character was going to be Who's Who until we met. So the type of character that comes in at the very end, not the very end, but the tail end, and has no right being there, but just everyone is like, who is this? And I want them.
Gotcha.
You know exactly who I'm about to say though, because I thought it was going to be Who's Who. Nope. Here comes Yamato, who literally just melted the community down.
That is true.
And the fact that his introduction. I'll say they, for now.
Yeah.
But their introduction is going to be coming up in the anime. I'm gonna say it right now. Once Yamato's introduced, you are going to see nothing but Yamato cosplay, because they are going to hit the internet and it's going to be big.
Yeah, and it's just like crazy because it's like a girl. Like we all thought it was a son. It was just a flip. Oda just does that, you know, he'll just flip it on you.
Well, Kaido's a progressive papa. He is just a.
Like, is he a good dad? Like, he's like my son.
He's not a good dad.
Flashback, he's at daddy mode and just a good dad.
There were memes. Oh my god, I would love that in a flashback. But there were memes of like Kaido like working an office job and then going to like Yamato's school for parent-teacher conference. It was amazing. Just, I love our community. But yeah, like this tail end character introduced that completely changes. And I think that honestly, the next saga there will be probably 2 or 3 more arcs. I could see 2 or 3 more characters who are introduced the tail end of these sagas who everyone is just absolutely gonna lose their fucking minds over. Because didn't think Katakura was gonna be coming. Boom. Yeah. Who's this dude? Granted, Raizo was introduced kind of similar like that. We didn't find him that interesting.
But we have those characters, but we still don't know who they are. Like we have the Admiral that we still need to see. We have
not Fruit.
You know, like there's characters. Who's Eam? Like who is Eam? Like there's characters that we know about, but we don't know really. So that it's gonna be pretty cool when we finally see them.
Or Dr. like more
Vegapunk, you know him. We don't know that dude.
Dude, if I have a feeling that since you know how Oda drops those little gems here and there and they come to fruition, when he brought up Orochi brought up Vegapunk, you can just feel it. It's just like if we get Vegapunk. And it's not, in knowing Oda, it's not going to be first time we see him, boom. We're just going to be seeing this old guy or girl. No, they keep on saying he. They always say, don't they say he when referring to Vegapunk? Or we've never gotten pronouns? I don't think we've gotten pronouns.
Vegapunk. I don't know if they say it's he.
I don't know.
I know with Sanji's dad, they said like he worked with him, so did Caesar Clown. I don't know if they ever mentioned it like he did this. I don't remember.
Well, if it is a man or a woman, I could very much see someone just like interacting with the battlefield for like 2 or 3 chapters, and everyone's like, "Who the hell is this?" And it's Vegapunk. I could see that. I could literally see Oda pulling.
Cool.
So cool. And then, as a way of slowly rolling down, Yamato or Carrots for Nakama.
This is a hard one because I don't mind Carrot, and obviously the world doesn't either. Cause she got like 10 in that one. And
only in Japan. Japan was the only place that didn't vote her highly.
Really?
She was 24th in Japan.
Oh dang! So it's just everybody else in the world, but
it is.
With Yamato, like I feel because she's read Odin's journal that she kind of just knows too much to be on the crew. Cause like, is she gonna be surprised as everyone else, or is she just gonna be like, "Yay, I'm here"?
I think she'd still be surprised, just because that's Yamato's personality from what we've seen so far. Heck, when she made the little doll from the little Momo doll, most adorable thing.
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna say Carrot, just because I think she's a good lookout. I don't know what Yamato's role would be on the crew. I don't know if they need a role, but they usually have one, you know, so Carrot.
Well, Warlords, you heard it here first. Sierra the Goat is a furry. Thank you so much for being with us on the 2nd episode of Off the Scene Interviews. Any final words for the One Piece community, anime community, Warlord community?
Just check out my channel if you haven't heard of me. Like we said, I do One Piece stuff, and I also have an art shop where I draw. It's on Redbubble if you want to go check out my drawings and put them on a shirt, you can.
Nice. And I will definitely have all of her information down in the links below. So definitely be sure to check out the newest Nakama to the Warlord clan, Sierra the GOAT. Thank you for staying with us. And don't forget, stay reckless, Warlords. Peace.